Hi, this is Dorothy Smith. I'm back again with how to make a spin card, which I have no idea. I've never done one before. So these are our two stamps and thin sets. That's the uh, thin cut for making the major pieces. Um, but I am going to use the Valentine one. It's the stamp and thin cut set is called I Choose You, CHEWS, which I thought was funny. So I've already cut out all the pieces. There's the main piece for the card. That's that. And then these are the two spin pieces that are needed. So I went ahead and cut those out. And then on the I Choose You, which this little piece I was looking for, I can't tell you how long, because I knew I had cut it, but I ended up having to cut another one. So those are all the pieces to the thin cuts, and this is the stamp that goes with those thin cut pieces. So you can make the cute little hearts that all kids get at Valentine's Day that have all the little sayings on them. So that's just adorable. And because in my childhood, what I remember are gumball machines that were bright red metal that were shiny. So I used my red shimmer brush. And I'm just kind of showing that for this particular one, you turn the little thumb tab to the left, but on the other one, you turn it to the right on the birthday one with the arcs of a rainbow. And so I really don't know what I'm doing, so I cut the pieces, and I did stamp the one piece that doesn't get a thin cut, but goes over the opening where the little sayings show through. And what I'm trying to show you here, it didn't show up well on the cardstock because it's so pale, but you get a stitched area, and if you can see those little vertical notches coming out of the stitched area, those kind of give you a guide. So you take a ruler from the center hole, which is cut when you cut the die cut, and you go to those lines and line up your ruler and make a very light mark there, so you kind of know where to stamp your sayings. And so I am not going to do 6 of them. I'm just going to do 3. So I'm doing every other little vertical line. And there you go. So what I'm going to do, I want these to be perfectly flat, so I'm going to use Tombow. You wouldn't want these to be raised because they would get caught when you're doing your spin. So I'm just putting the 3 little Valentine's candies that I picked out and put them in their appropriate spot. Now they kind of show you where to put them because there are stitched lines in concentric circles, and so you put them between the 2 outer stitch line concentric circles. So I know that's going to go on there somehow, but I can't put it directly to the front of the card because then the little brad would show through. So I know that because there's a brad there, I need to have some height from the back of the spin part. And I'm going to use the thicker foam pieces from my, what do you call those things? From the shaker cards, because they are actually much thicker than my tape was, my foam tape. So I know that I'm going to need some space in between there. So I am using this, instead of using an eraser, this actually takes off the pencil mark without leaving any kind of smudges, which all my erasers leave smudges. So that's that part. And then I'm kind of thinking, so I don't necessarily want to have it, you could have the brad come through the card, and so you would see the brad on the inside of the card. But if I put this piece of candy apple red behind the notched shaker piece, not the shaker piece, the spin piece, then I can kind of hide the brad. So I'm just kind of putting all of my little candies, and I don't want to particularly put them upside down so that they're hard to read. So I'm going to face them all up, but kind of make them go hither and yon from each other. So you could add some gumballs if you wanted to this little gumball machine. You could just make some little teeny round circles to kind of match the size of the hearts and put different colors of gumballs in there. And because I think this little saying is so funny, I choose you, I'm going to put that on the front of the gumball machine. And I am stamping it in candy apple red. So I'm just going to make sure it's giving me a good impression before I put it on the final piece. I choose you, I choose you, I choose you. Okay, now I can't find what I did with, where did it go? Where did it go? It's sticking on the back side of my scrap paper, but I haven't figured that out yet. There we go. Found it. Okay, now I've got to re-ink, and I'm putting I choose you. I could have put that on the outside of the card above the machine, but there isn't a whole lot of space there. Now, I went ahead and made the top. Like I said, I put some of the shimmer pen on it just to make it kind of look shiny. And I did it on the bottom edge of the gumball machine, too, on that thicker red line there. It would have been fun if we had kind of bendable shimmer tape to do it in shimmer tape. Or if it had been a straight piece, I totally would have done it in shimmer tape. So I'm just kind of sitting it on top there, and that's the little turn thing. And the cutest thing is it has 10 cents. When's the last time you bought something for 10 cents? So cute. And so I'm going to make it stand up like it's thick, because those things are pretty thick, the little turn pieces. Oop, 10 cents upside down. There we go. So the other thing I need to do is kind of figure out where to put the, I'm kind of glad that I kind of measured these, because the little arrow for spin me this way isn't in between the little candy hearts, so it's kind of offset from them. So it was good that I checked that. Now we also have a teensy little thing that says spin me on the stamp set. So you could use the arrow, or you could lose the little spin me thing. So that's what that looks like for me. So I'm kind of figuring in my head while I'm doing this work is that I need to kind of figure out where to put the punch. I think, no, not the scissors. Let me get my punching tool, that's exactly what it's used for here, is to make holes. Preferably not in your finger. So, there we go. I kind of pressed the brad into the back of the paper so I could kind of see where the dent was made. And it moves nice and easily. And so now it's a matter of how do I need to adjust this so it comes out even. It takes a little bit of thinking to do this, but nothing so hard that you can't figure it out. There's, kind of super easy instructions when you get the, get the stamps, the stamp set and thin cuts. You get kind of a downloadable instruction on how to use it and how to make a spin card. So I'm not going to put Tombow because it's only on there on just a little piece of it. So I'm going to run the liquid Tombow on the bottom edge and smush it a little bit, smear it around, and then put another blob of it on the top. So I want it to really kind of get a good hold. And I'm putting a little piece of the foam tape to kind of raise up the top so it kind of matches the same height as the little bubble. So there we go. It's coming along. And it works. So what you want to make sure is you don't want to interfere with the brad on the back of this so that everything can spin the way it needs to spin. So I don't know whether the brad is supposed to move or not. Maybe not, but you just don't want to interfere with it. So I am going to keep the glue away from the back of the red card, the red background piece. And of course I forgot to bring my card with me, but see how it's coming along? It's looking really cute. And so I brought a card in an envelope, and I'm going to stamp the inside, because there's the I Choose You, but then there's the little curved Happy Valentine's Day. So you could also put Happy Valentine's Day on the front of the card. Ta-da! And you see what happens when you don't clean off your block and you get ink on it. And so I'm going to hope that putting Treat Yourself on the bottom is going to hide it, but it doesn't really. And so I'm going to have to make a thing to, but I try. So, I mean, you could pass for that, but you know, you kind of get a little irritated with yourself when you see those extra ink marks that you know shouldn't have been there because you weren't watching what you were doing. So there we go. And it goes edge to edge. And of course I'm going to put something on the back of the card. And this is Keep Your Head Up. It's a $10 stamp for Australia with the horrible fires and the poor billion animals that have been lost to the fires, and they've lost their habitat. Even those who survived the fire have nothing to eat and no place to live. So, I mean, it's just a, terribly sad situation. But anyway, this gorgeous heart, and I think it says faith, hope, and keep your head up on this stamp. So all $10 goes straight to Australia to help out with the animals and the situation there. So I've got to use this. And I want to see if I can do a second generation using Pixie. And so I'm inking it up really good. And the Pixie itself comes out lovely, but you can't even see the second generation. So what I'm going to do is, isn't that gorgeous heart? It's really, really pretty. So I'm thinking while I'm doing this, I didn't plan this out. And so they have a nice little fancy piece that goes in there, but it didn't do it for me to go inside the heart. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the front of the envelope. And Pixie is light enough that it doesn't interfere too much with the address. And then I want to put something, but I want something on the inside of the heart. So we've got special delivery, made from the heart. So I am going to, since the special delivery has an arrow in it, and Valentine's always have an arrow going through the heart, I am going to go ahead and use the special delivery arrow going through that heart. And then I'm going to Made with Love on the back. I use that all the time. I just really, really love that, and you know, you want to stamp the back of your card so people can see that it is handmade. And so this cute little envelope with the hearts coming out of it, that had to go on the back of the envelope. So there's my envelope. And here's my card. And so those little ink spots are getting to me. So when you think too much is not enough, here I come. No, that doesn't go. And those are raspberry. I love those hearts, but they're raspberry and not red. And so I'm going to put some X's and O's in this gold ribbon that I've had for a long time. This is a stash item. And I'll just run it with some of the liquid Tombow. And that is going to go on the top and the bottom. And on my blog, I'm always signing my blog off with X's and O's. So it's X's, XOXO from Dot Scrapbooking. So that totally, I had to use the X's and O's, or X's and hearts. So I'm just running it by there, and I kind of smeared the glue so it wouldn't be blobby. And woohoo! Anyway, there we go. So I'm thinking, okay, I've got those little hearts left over. What am I going to do? And then I'm thinking, you know, I need to cover up my... Unknown caller. Sorry about that. Silly telephone. I'm going to cover up my mistake. So I'm going to take all my scrap, which to show you that I cut all those pieces out with my new die cutter. And I'm going to fussy cut this because this doesn't come with thin cuts. So it's kind of a pain when you have so much, so I always have to cut extraneous stuff off so I can get a better handle on moving the paper around while I'm fussy cutting. So I just think this thing is beautiful. It's a little heart with all the leaves and stuff. So pretty. I feel so bad for all those little animals, the poor little koalas and kangaroos and all the other different animals that you get in Australia. So I am putting Treat Yourself on the inside of this heart. And the thing that I like is my dad would always say, I'm going to treat myself. So I'm going to pop it up. To add a little dimension to the inside of the card. And I like the heart with the Treat Yourself on the inside. It took my mistake and made it really pretty. Ta-da! See what you can get from having boo-boos? Perfect. So there's my card, and there's my envelope. But wait, there's more. There are things that haven't been used. All these little hearts. And I'm thinking, should I stamp them? Nah. I'm going to make shiny hearts. And I'm going to use my shimmer brush, and just color the whole heart with the shimmer brush. So this is coloring, but it's adding shimmer. So they glisten like they've got glitter in them. And I'm thinking, okay, what other colors should I use? Well, you know, I've got yellow candies, but I don't have a yellow brush. What I do have is a gold brush. So we will have a heart of gold. It's not very dark is the only problem. So it's just going to be kind of shimmer gold with not a whole lot of color to it. And I will have all shimmer, little shimmer hearts. And I will put them on there because, you know, too much embellishment is just not enough. You can never have too much embellishment. You can, ladies. Don't go nuts like me. So this is our green, and of course too much came out. It's blobbing up, but that's okay. It actually, the stuff dries fast. Okay, here's a brand new pink one. So you get rid of the yellow. That's for nothing. You throw it out, and then you screw that on there real tight, and then you squeeze where it says push on the side of the white part. And this is a darker, I think this is sugar plum. I do have a lighter one that I could have used, but that's okay. You know, it may not have shown up like the gold. So this one shows up. So I am going to add 3 of those to the front of the card. And then I'll put the green one on the inside. And I'm going to pop them up a little bit with little skinny pieces of the foam tape. And clearly I need to go order some more foam dots from close to my heart because I don't have one. I just have my tape and then I have my shaker window extras. So I need to order some more little round. So they're going to go up there because they're small. They're very small hearts. So they kind of fit up there. And I'm going to tuck that one kind of under. Put the little red one over there. Could have put the green one over there, but I didn't. Then the green one, that looks like too much. And then I'm going to put it there. Okay, really now I'm finished. No, I'm not. So I'm just adding some more gold, and a big blob came out, so it will be a very shiny heart of gold. So there you go. Didn't think I'd make a spin card, and it wasn't as hard as I thought. Even though I wasn't looking at the instructions, I still kind of figured out what to do. And I don't have the brad showing on the inside of the card, which used to bug me when I did those kind of things back in my early days of scrapbooking and card making. There we go. Please subscribe to my video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.